Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. They call me Suki. I'm Suki. So, I just wanted to give a life update. I know I said I wasn't going to give any more about my cervical spine, but this is about just life. So, in terms of my cervical spine, everything looks good. I went to the doctor, so the doctor said that I am 90% recovered. The last area C6 and C7 at that time, which is a few weeks ago, had not completely fused. So I actually had to go back into the cervical collar, but I only was using it at night. Now I'm just not using it at all. I feel like I'm okay. I have a lot more movement in my neck, as you can see, up and down. And the only other thing is I started having pain in the incision. I don't know if you can see it, and it feels like it's slightly keloid and kind of feel like it was coming apart. But so far, the doctor doesn't seem to be concerned. I went in, I talked with the ENT doctor who actually did the incision. She referred me back to the surgeon who thinks that maybe I had a sinus infection could have caused the pain that I'm having, but I don't think so. I really think it's probably when the physical therapist is like manipulating and massaging my neck, because I went to therapy this week and the pain got a little worse. So that's my update on my cervical spine. I go back to my doctor in about, I think, 2 months. That will be my 9-month follow up, and then again in August, which will be a 1 year follow up. So I'm doing pretty good. My walking is better. I got an injection in my back for the pain in my low back. It didn't take care of the pain, but it did help my walking. I mean, my walking is so much better. I feel like I'm probably at the point where I think I'm going to try and drive. So I did try and drive last Saturday. I went to the hair salon, as you can see, but my hair didn't last, so it's pulled back. And because it was so messed up for like 6, 7 months in the same braids, my hair is very thin now, and then there's some breakage. But I'm okay with that. It'll grow back. So I tried to drive, but my car got some weird code on it. So something with the brakes. But I had it told, so it appears that it's the battery, because the car has been sitting up for almost 7 months. Only started maybe 2 or 3 times. And so the mechanic says that the battery, and the fact that the battery is old, I didn't realize I bought that battery in 2017, so it's like 8 years old. That batteries are only good for 3 to 4 years. So he's ordering me a battery, and he said he's gonna see if that takes care of everything. So he's gonna keep it until next week, and hopefully that takes care of everything. Otherwise, there's some part in the computer which I really don't want to have to pay. The batteries are already costing almost $500 for the battery and the installation. So yeah, I think I'm at the point where I'm going to drive. I'm going to drive because access has not been having the times that I need. And then when I do use it, it's like, it's the paratransit here in California. When I do use it, it's like 4 hours, and it just takes too much of the time out of my day. So I've been paying for Uber and Lyft, which is taking a lot of my money, because I have been having doctor's appointments and test exams and physical therapy, something every day. So I'm at the point where I just can't afford to do that anymore. So I will be forced to drive, and so hopefully, it'll go okay. But I think I'm okay, because see, I can turn. It was just really trying to turn to look over my shoulder, but if I have to, I just have to lift and turn to see, because that's what's going to have to be. I'm not going to spend all that money on Lyft and Uber anymore. So that's my update on my cervical spine. Everything's looking good. I still wear the bone growth stimulator every day for 4 months. But the biggest life update, my job. So you guys know that I work remotely, and I am an accountant. I work for a nonprofit right now, and I work remotely at home. I have this job for almost 2 years, and when I hired on. I was just leaving consulting because that kind of died out a little bit. So I was off for maybe 2 months and I needed a job. So I took this one knowing that it didn't pay that much, but it gave me the flexibility that I needed, knowing that I was going to have surgery and I need to take care of my husband, who also is going to be coming home hopefully by the end of May. So they hired me to work on a specific grant, and they weren't fully transparent that the grant was only for 3 years and that there was a possibility they did not want to work on it anymore, and the community partner, who was the client, would not want to pursue that grant anymore. So when I started, they were already 1 year in on the grant. It was the 1 year was almost ending. So this means that the grant is over. I had a meeting with my boss and the director of accounting a couple of weeks ago, and I told him it didn't seem like the community partner was interested in pursuing a grant renewal. And then they said they weren't sure if they wanted to be the fiscal sponsor anymore, which means I won't have a job. So it was wearing on me. So I started thinking about it and trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm 57 years old. I don't want to be 57 and unemployed, especially in this environment with all of the federal workers that have been laid off. The job market is going to be very tight. And I have been looking, and I have been finding it more competitive and harder to find remote work in my field of accounting. Now, you don't really need to be in the office to do accounting, but for whatever reason, these companies feel that they want you there, probably just to micromanage which I don't like. So I found out officially yesterday that the client is not going to pursue the grant. They sent an email saying, thank you guys for working with us. We're having growth. And then, not to mention, I had no work for the whole week. So I reached out to the community partner myself, trying to find out where is all of the work, what's going on. And they made it very clear that priority was on the other grants that they had that we had nothing to do with. And they have a third-party accountant working on that. So finally, they're like, not bookkeeper. She's just like a person that works on, she's more HR and office, but she's the executive director's mother. So she does payroll and she does the billing, which I have to review. So she finally submitted some stuff in the payroll for me to review so we can pay them today. But we got an email saying that they were not going to pursue the grant, and they wanted to thank us for helping them. So I made the mistake of talking to one of my other coworkers who's currently reviewing my work. And I told her my concerns about not having a job and that I didn't want to be out here without a job. And I offered to help her, and she offered to give me one of the worst clients that we have. And I said, no, I don't want to do it. But I thought she was joking. So if I knew she was serious, I would have absolutely just took it and worked on it. So this just lets me know that, and I already know, you can't trust anybody you work with. You cannot tell them anything because they will go back and repeat it. So she did that. I get a call from my boss today because we were having like a California meetup with the team in California at this particular person's house in Brea, which I didn't want to go. It's too far, and I'm not driving, and I'm not going to try and take Uber that far. It's just too far. Over 50 miles one way. I just wasn't going to do it. So I get a call from my boss this morning, and she goes, oh, I hear you're not coming to the meetup. Lisa told me you're not coming, but I wanted to talk to you personally. I really didn't want to tell you this on the phone, but since you're not coming to the meetup, I just want to let you hear from me. You really shouldn't be worried about not having work. I don't want you to be worried. But, and she kept repeating the same thing. I can't guarantee that you won't be laid off. She continued to say, I can't guarantee that you won't be laid off, but I don't want you to worry because we should have plenty of work for you to do. It'll be something different from what you're doing, but you know, a bank rec is a bank rec, which, hello, I'm a CPA. I know all of these things. So, but I just wanted to assure you, you know, don't worry, but I can't guarantee that you won't be laid off. If you want to assure me that I'm not going to be without work, then don't keep telling me on the other side of your mouth, I can't guarantee you won't be laid off. So she goes on to tell me examples of there were like 3 other people in Colorado when the Department of Correction canceled the grant with us a couple of years ago. When I probably like 6 months after I started working, or maybe it was last year, that they reassigned these people that are on the project side that were in, you know, the prisons, and so they're now doing other stuff, but they're still on the project side, and so we kept them. But then she goes, but I can't guarantee you that you won't be laid off, but we have enough work and we can just reassign the work, and I just don't want you to be worried. Well, you keep telling me not to be worried, but then you're telling me that you can't guarantee I won't be laid off. So translation, we don't want you to be worried right now because we don't want you to quit. We don't want you to find another job right now because we still need you until this grant ends in June, which will leave, she said, was going to probably end up having to spill over all the way into October to wrap it up. So basically, they don't want me to leave, but they can't guarantee that I won't be laid off. That's no guarantee to me at all. No comfort, nothing. I just said, okay, thank you for letting me know and sharing that with me. I appreciate the call, which I do. And, you know, and maybe they won't lay me off. But to continue to tell me I can't guarantee, and I know maybe that's possibly to cover her butt, you know, so she can say, I never said you wouldn't be laid off if they let me go. So just keep doing what you're doing. Which is not a lot. I'm not getting any work. So that also makes me concerned. I've been laid off a few times before, especially the last one, you know, which was just before the pandemic shut down. I was laid off and I knew it. I knew it was coming because they stopped giving me work. The boss was getting nasty with me and I had literally no work. They were giving my work to the clerk. How do you give the CPA's work to the clerk? So it was the same feeling I started getting. Okay, wait a minute. My inbox is empty. I've been sitting here for a whole week with nothing to do. Nobody's going to continue to pay you and you have nothing to do. In what world is that happening? So all I can do is just let it be what it is. So I have been interviewing. I have been looking. And like I said in my last video, I never stop looking. I always keep my resume updated. I always continue to apply. I never stop because of stuff like this. So, but I have to admit it has been increasingly harder because I've applied for a lot of stuff that I am fully qualified for, but I interviewed nothing after the first interview, not even the interview, the phone screening, nothing. So, I'm not going to sit around and wait to be unemployed and no money. I have bills. My husband, I'm planning for him to come back home the end of May. I need to be able to pay for caregivers. And even if he's still there, we still need to be able to pay for his care there in the facility. So I'm not really sure which direction to go. And I have been contemplating this for months and for years, really, to go back into my accounting practice fully. I've dabbled in it. I got some clients a couple of years ago. I got a grant and the client didn't work out. And so I just kind of put it on the shelf. But the more I think about it, I don't know if I want to do accounting as a business, but that's what I know. So that's the thing that, you know, you gravitate to what you know. So in a perfect world, I would love to be able to do something that I don't have to deal with people directly. Indirectly is fine. I love affiliate marketing. I have a nano degree in digital marketing. So I would love to be able to do that, but I just don't remember how to do all that stuff. I took the course in 2017, just before my husband had the stroke. He had the stroke like 2 months after I finished, and I got my certificate. So I've never used it. So I don't know how to really do it because algorithms change. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to just pursue accounting, and part of that is just getting clients. And that's really what I know to do. So I've been praying, seeking God. I'm probably going to have to fast and just really, really get myself in a place where I can hear from God on what to do. Um, yeah, so that's my life update. So if I do pursue, the business is still here. I just haven't worked it. So if I make the decision to work the accounting business, then I will change this channel to totally documenting my process on how I go about getting clients, what I'm doing. So right now, I have my CPA license, but I'm working on renewing my QBO license. I didn't keep it because I really wasn't using it since I've been here, and then I was focused on this surgery that I had. I knew it was coming, and trying to get care for my husband, so it just kind of drained me. And right now I'm still drained. So, but I know I got to push. I don't always have the energy to push. I'm still very exhausted since the surgery. So I think right now, because I really don't know what direction to go in, it'll probably just me using my accounting business is already there. My website designer keeps emailing me because I shut the site down. I lost my web address while I was, dealing with a lot of things medically. So I have to get a new web address, but the site, they still kept it. They backed it up. But I don't want the site to be so detailed. I want it to be as little information on there as possible, but to get the point across of what I do and make it more clickable, meaning people will click through. So that's possibly what I'm gonna do. Yeah, or um, I have my notary license and loan signing agent license, and I've been getting text messages to do loan signings. I've been getting them more frequently. So the only problem with that, I don't have a laser printer. So I'm gonna have to invest in a laser printer because you can't do the loan signings without a laser printer because you need to print out the documents and then also scan back. I have a scanner that my job purchased for me 2 years ago, and I haven't even used it. It's still in the box. But if they let me go, I'm gonna have a scanner. It's gonna have to get all this stuff back to them. Thankfully, the only thing I got from there is this computer. I did get a chair because my chair was old, and then their little cheap printer that was like $40. That's all I got from them. In that scanner, everything else is mine. I already had an office set up because I worked for myself for many, many years, and I've worked remotely for so long. So I do have two large monitors that my husband bought me the year he had the stroke in 2017. They're still in storage in the box, unopened. So I can set my office up better. I have a screen that I purchased many, many years ago, back when I was in my other practice for 10 years, and I just love this monitor, so I wouldn't let it go. So my husband bought huge monitors, so I'm going to have to probably switch them out and just redo my little office space here. I don't have an office in the house. It's just the office space because we had to rearrange things when my husband had the stroke. So that's what I'm probably going to do, is the accounting, then somehow incorporate the notary and loan signing. And then I'm also looking into really pushing in the life and health. Yeah, so we'll see what direction the Lord wants me to go. I just don't know right now. I am a little disappointed and a little perturbed because I feel like when they interviewed me for this job, they should have been transparent and said, hey, this is a project. It's not a full-time job permanently. You'll be here permanent on a full-time basis until the grant ends. And more than likely, we won't renew the grant, or the client is not going to renew the grant. This is something that we're experimenting with, and they should have let me know instead of experimenting with my life. Because at that stage, this job is a tremendous pay cut from what I was making as a consultant. But it had medical benefits, and like I said, the consulting had kind of died for 2 months. I hadn't worked, and I didn't want to, be without work. I really physically couldn't financially because of what I had to pay for my husband and the caregivers, and unemployment was not paying me at all. They had not approved my unemployment for months. So for those 2 months, so I took this job knowing the pay was extremely low, but I figured having the medical benefits and then also they give me an extra $150 a pay period for office, cell phone, internet. So I figured I could work with it, which I have. God has been doing amazing things with this low amount of money. He's been multiplying, talking about loaves and fishes, baby. We have some loaves and fishes up in here because the pay is low, but God has come through for us each and every time. Yes, each and every time. Talking about turning water into wine, baby. I'm telling you, God has turned some stuff for us. So that's where my trust is in God, and we'll see. So that's my life update. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but it was a little bit of update on my neck, and then this huge life update about my job. So if you want to follow my journey on what I'm going to be doing and how you can learn as I learn and decide what I'm going to do, either it's going to be my accounting practice, notary, loan signing, apostille, which I just bought a book on apostille, life insurance, and I'm looking more onto the mortgage protection side, especially now in this climate where people are losing their jobs. If they have mortgage protection, through life insurance, then you don't have to worry. And then if God forbid something happens to someone, lose a job, or the unfortunate things that could possibly happen, you would need some mortgage protection or some type of life insurance. So anyhow, thank you all for watching and listening to me ramble. I really hope I get views. I'm really trying to grow the channel. I just haven't been getting the views. So if you've come this far, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and come back. I'd love to have you back, and I really would like to grow the channel. I have some ideas, but if I don't get the views, it's just a waste of my time because I have so much other stuff that I have to do and need to do. But with that being said, thank you for watching. Have an amazing day, and God bless you all. Hope to see you on the next video.